Hello and welcome to Fallout 4 Hidden Details Episode 3. Power armor and other vehicles. Yes, I think power armor is a vehicle, and I will go into that shortly. But first, walking, sprinting, swimming, and holding your breath while you're swimming. Yep, they're controlled by endurance. Don't worry, I won't bore you too much more than that. Yes, that's the easiest way you can move your character around the wasteland with those things there. So, power armor. Why do I think it's a vehicle? Multitude of reasons. I'm going to go through them now. We see it getting modded in the garage. We see the little mod section of the gameplay video, and headlamps and paint jobs are part of the list of mods you can choose. It's very Grand Theft Auto style modding your vehicle in a garage. And then we see the walking animations, much more clunky, much more solid, very slow and methodical compared to the fluid walking animation with dog meat when you're not wearing the power armor. It feels different, it feels like a walking tank. And then we've got the core, and that's the little rod that gets inserted before the valve is turned in order to open the suit and climb in. Now that whole animated climbing into the suit gives it a vehicle feel. And the core depletes when the thrusters are used, or we see a gauge go down, which I'm assuming is the core, saying you're using up the power. So if it's a fuel source, why would clothing need a fuel source? A vehicle would need a fuel source. Clothing wouldn't. So, if that means it is a worn vehicle, can you park it on the map, walk away and come back Grand Theft Auto style again? I think you can. The reason I say that is in the gameplay video, the power armor is stood waiting for the player character to come along and insert the power core. It's not locked up in a container or anything like that, it's stood there waiting. So, suggest an element of it's a vehicle. And I'd hope that's true. Now, power armor out of the way, what are the other vehicles? Well, we've got air travel in the form of vertibirds and airships. We've not seen inside the airships whether they're locations or whether they're just vehicles. We know we can see one crashing and it possibly been shot down. We don't know if that's part of a quest or just you can do it anyway. You'd hope you can do it anyway. And the vertibird travel looks a lot like the Skyrim alternative fast travel with the dragons. Now before I go into what all the other varieties of vehicles do, because they've been pre-war modelled, what about vans? The Vault Assisted Navigational System perhaps? It's on the perception chart on the perk chart, and it says something along the lines of let Vault-Tec guide you. Now, I'm assuming that the N means a navigational system, because we have VATS, which is Vault Assisted Targeting System, so maybe VANS is Vault Assisted Navigational System, which suggests an element of a sat-nav or GPS. But why would you need a sat-nav or a GPS? Is it just there as a gimmick like clairvoyance in Skyrim? If you don't want to look at the map but you want to be guided straight to the next quest? Possibly. So what are all these vehicles going to be used for? They're going to be used for travelling around Boston, America's walking city. Now, the E3 panel video of Bethesda's say that they chose Boston because it has a lot of tall buildings which gave them the ability to put vertical sections in, and with the new technology they could have a denser, more vertical city with less load screens, and they wanted to showcase what they could do there. Okay, but what have we seen in Boston? Well, we've seen the docks and boats and ships. We've seen a quarry Probably not in Boston, probably just outside. Now that'll have diggers, cranes, other kinds of excavation equipment. Are they possibly drivable? Who knows? We've seen train tracks. I'd like to think it's a hint to the railroad. It's probably just making the point that there will be trains and subways. Now, coolant stations. Now we've seen a coolant station, not a petrol gas station, a coolant station. I'm assuming that's for the nuclear technology. Your power armor, cars maybe, vertibirds. And we see this station where you meet dog meat and where the little clothes montage takes place. Why is a coolant station in the game? Is it just a nice location, you thought, or have they showcased it as a little hint that with all that nuclear tech lying around and the new mod your weapons, mod your armor, create your own town, mod your town, mod the game world basically. Is that a little hint that you might be able to mod cars, mod vertibirds? I'd like to think so. Lastly, elevators, lifts, whatever you want to call them. I'm on the British side of the pond, I'm going to call it a lift. We know that the vault has a lift, it works in real time. It will lift you into and outside of the vault. And we've seen a cable lift for, on the side of a skyscraper, which probably would have been used for washing windows in the past, but now it's used for throwing grenades and shooting super mutants. That adds to the whole, they wanted Boston to have vertical sections and feel dense. And we've also seen the end of one of the trailers where you play a character in Dogmeat are looking out over Boston from the top of a building. There's lots of hints in there that Boston's going to be a very dense, very interesting city to explore. And unlike Skyrim, they couldn't put mountains in, so we can go up and down the buildings by the looks of things. I like that idea. It's going to make quite a unique gaming experience, I think. So, until episode 4, I hope you've enjoyed my rambles. I hope you've seen things that you've not thought about yourself. I hope you want to tell me that I'm way off the limit and I'm waxing lyrical about stuff that makes no sense at all. Go right ahead, the comment section's there. But if you enjoy what I'm saying and you want to hear next time's episode, hit like and subscribe and I'll see you again. So for now, fellow Wastelanders, Robin on out.